Hi, I know this isn't my vlog, but it's another video, so it's fine. I just came home from practice. I kind of look like I'm a hot mess. I'm doing a video on frequently asked questions about competitive cheer. And yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to answer questions because I haven't really looked at what people want to know. So that's what I'm going to be answering from my point. The first question is how big are the teams? My team is like 30 something people, and for the most part, they're pretty big teams. Some of them will have smaller than others, but mostly bigger teams for competitive. What do they do? Is another question. Basically, we work all season to work on a 2.5 minute routine. That we compete, obviously. Yes, it's not very easy. It's very underestimated because cheerleading has been seen as you see them at the games, you don't see behind the scenes. A lot harder than people imagine. What do routines include? Okay, so my routine has 3 sections: an opening, a cheer section, and then closing. My first section includes standing tumbling, running tumbling, elites, which are basically just stunts. They're not a pyramid, but they're separate stunts for each stunt group. There's 2 elites. There's I'm trying to think here. So there's elites, and then a cheer pyramid. So it's what leads into the cheer. Then from there we go into a cheer. We still have stunts and standing tumbling in the cheer, but that's where the sign work comes in. That's where the classic cheerleading comes in, but basically a more intense version. And then closing consists of jumps, a dance, and an ending pyramid, which is like, sorry, my parents are weird. They're trying to get my dog to howl. Sorry. It's basically a really hard pyramid. Sorry, just ignore them. Oh, man. How does scoring work? Scoring is complicated. They score you on every little detail. Most of them, like jumps and execution and all that stuff, is out of 5. Like, it's all out of different amount of points, but difficulty, technique, timing, eye contact. There's a lot of stuff that you're judged on. So honestly, it's kind of hard to answer that because you're judged on every single thing. Yeah. What's a stunt? Okay. So basically, each stunt is made out of 4 or 5 people. There is a main base, a secondary base, a back spot, a flyer, and sometimes there's a front spot. Basically, like, most people know what a stunt is, but for those of you who don't, it's when you hold people up in the air and throw them around and do all this crazy stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Like, other than that, it's hard. It's not hard to explain. It's just more kind of a visual, you have to see it kind of thing. Yeah, flyers are just tossed in the air. Yeah, you basically, I don't know how to explain it. Do they actually do cheers? As I said, we do have a cheer section, and since I am through a school competitive team, we have to cheer at all games to support them, and that's why everyone's high school teams are underestimated, because they see the cheer that, not that we dread, but that, like, I don't know how to explain it without it being negative, because it's not a negative thing. Like, cheering at basketball games and football games is really fun. But we do have a cheer section in mine. So we still cheer. I'm not really sure. I know All-Star, they don't really do cheers anymore. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can boys do the sport? Absolutely. Boys are the key to cheerleading. And honestly, like, for stunting, it's a lot more helpful to have guys. Tumbling, they all have power tumbling. And I feel like a lot of guys are embarrassed to join cheer because they're going to get, obviously made fun of. But it's not an easy sport, and it's not something where people can just sit there and make fun of someone for doing it. My video just stopped. I'm not sure why. My phone's probably about to die. But definitely would love for more guy cheerleaders to be in the world because they are the key to cheer. And college, they obviously, you notice the college, they want guys, and if they see guys on cheer, they're like, that's a good scholarship chance for them. And honestly, my brother played football in high school, and he's regretting that he didn't do cheer. And a lot of football players switch over to cheer, which has surprised me because, football, to a cheerleader, you would get made fun of big time, but they realize that it's not as easy as people make it seem, and that they just kind of let it go through one ear and out the other, because it's not a sport that you can just sit there and bash them down on for. What is a pyramid? Basically, it's a stunt just put together with a bunch of people that post other people, and it's a lot of flipping and twisting and just consists of all this crazy stuff. I can't even explain it to you. It's all stunt groups combined to make a large formation. It's a pretty big part of the routine. Another question is, are there stars? Not really. I mean, sometimes, but it's for the most part a team sport, and everyone's just as important. Yeah. I don't want to make this video like super long, but let me see if I can find another one, because it's very, I'm just going to take time to talk, very, very underestimated, because people do not realize the work and effort that cheerleaders do go through. It's not an easy sport whatsoever. It's very, very physically demanding, and you have to be motivated. If you're not motivated, you're not going to be able to stay in the sport. My team, personally, I have 3 morning practices a week. I have to wake up at 4:15 in the morning, and then 2 after school practices on that same day. So on Mondays, I have morning and after school. Wednesdays, I have morning and after school. And Fridays, I have morning. And when I'm in football season, I have Friday nights. Basketball season, we have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. It's all different. Sometimes Mondays, Fridays. And then competitions on Saturdays. And, it's a big deal. It's hard. It's really hard. I've had many injuries, including the one that was on my channel from a while back. But you see so many injuries from cheerleading, and people don't understand why, but it's insane. You're throwing people around, you're tumbling on your wrists and stunting on your wrists, so they're constantly in a... As I was saying before I got interrupted, my body right now is absolutely broken. My ankle is completely messed up. If you haven't seen my video on why, you should go watch it. 8th grade year, I fractured my growth plate in my left wrist, and I'm pretty sure right now I've done the same in my right wrist, but I haven't gotten it checked yet because I'm too worried to do that. I need to, I know it sounds bad, but I want to finish off my season and not get a cast. So I'll probably be tumbling on that bad of a hurt wrist. Just put yourself in that position. I've had way too many concussions. Too many, actually. I'm not even going to say the number because I'm not supposed to be doing cheer anymore. My back, I have scoliosis, so my back is constantly in pain, constantly. My body's always tight. I never get a break. I never get sleep. It's a huge commitment, and that is one thing commitment is what cheer consists of, because if you are sick, if you have the flu, if you are puking, if you are whatever, it does not matter. You are expected to show up to practice and practice. Yes, sometimes they'll let you take it easy, but for the most part, it's not going to happen. Last year, there was a girl in the hospital with pneumonia, and they expected her to come out, compete, and then go back to the hospital. It's a huge commitment. You have to go when you're sick. You have to put cheer in front of your whole life, basically. You have to find out how to manage your time with schoolwork and cheer and sleep. I personally don't get sleep anymore, and I've been trying to do better. I'm going to do better with it this semester, because last year I was running off of no sleep. It's to the point where I can run off an hour and a half of sleep a day and feel amazing. Like, there's been points where I've had to have my parents come pick me up from school because I could not stay awake in class, but I'm not trying to scare anyone, but cheer is so extremely hard, and it's just such a commitment, and you have to be able to be willing to put cheer before anything. And you have to learn how to, like, keep your grades up and work your family vacations around your schedule years, like a year in advance, and just all that stuff. It's very hard, but in order to continue, you have to have that passion in you. And cheerleaders complain all the time about cheer. I'm not complaining right now, but I am complaining. It's so hard. And that's why we get so mad when people just sit here and tell us it's not a sport. It is a freaking sport, and I would love to see people try it, because I know that half of these people would everyone that would try it would completely change their mind about how they feel about it. And it's just so underestimated, and so people just don't understand, and it's just insane. So yeah, there's my point. And gosh, all I'm gonna say is you have to have that passion. You have to be willing to push yourself way above limits you could ever go to. You have to go to practice, you're sick, puking, crying, in pain. You still are expected to do everything and be there. And it's just, I can't even put it into words, but all I can say is that at the end of the day, I would be really, really sad if I had to take it out of my life. And there's some days where you're going to want to quit. It's going to happen, but you just have to. The one thing I've learned is you have to have a positive mindset. Because I'll sit here and dread going to practice all day. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to morning practice tomorrow. I don't want to go to after school practice. I don't want to cheer at the game. I don't want to go to competition. But you have to have a positive mindset. I have been learning that, like, deciding that I'm going to change my mindset to how it used to be. I'm going to go to practice. I'm going to have fun with it. It's going to be fun. I'm going to absolutely work my butt off, even though I do every practice. Like, if you didn't, nothing would go well. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be way better practices than the other, but you have to be able to work as a team. And it's not an individual sport, so I just can't explain it enough, but it's all about positivity and keeping your head in the right headspace and being there for everyone else, creating a family outside of your home, and that's basically what it's about. So it's very underestimated, and if you have any other questions, just comment below or add me on Snap or Instagram, and you can ask me questions about it, and I will answer them separately from here. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I just felt the need to kind of bring it out of me, because I decided that I'm going to make it a better sport for me personally, and make the decision that I'm going to start making the fun of it again and bring back the practices that I used to have with my confidence, because my confidence went away for a while after I broke my ankle, because I hadn't done anything in forever. But it's all about the passion for the sport. So yeah.